This is the perfect size. So, for features wise, actually, I think it actually beats a Fly Sky. Not gonna lie, I'm actually really impressed with this. This is best WL I've ever driven on this track. All right, we're gonna do a quick test of the Dumbo RC. This is a XM. All right, we're gonna do a quick test. This is the Dumbo RC x6pm-350. This is their new mini transmitter and receiver. I got the 6-channel one, and I also have the 4-channel minis coming in. This one would be pretty much the same size as my Fly Sky receivers, so I don't see really a huge difference there. But there are times that I'm having issues with the Fly Skies, even though I like them a lot. Not all of them I'm having issue with, but just certain models. So the Dumbo RC is one that I've kind of avoided in the past, and I just didn't like the look of it, to be honest with you. And now that I've seen like the new Relarlo version of this along with this one I can actually do. I like the way it looks, the feel of it, quality wise, it does feel really good in just about every way. So it doesn't feel like some cheap little controller, even though it does feel extremely small. When I did get this in, I had also a problem just with the form factor. When you don't have batteries in it, you're going to feel that it's going to feel more top heavy, and it feels like it kind of just wants to fall this way. Not fall, but like you can kind of feel the weight wanting to kind of shift. So with this, when you put the batteries in it, it gives it a very, very solid feel. Which is really interesting because this is the lightest, smallest controller that I have, but it feels like the heaviest. And that's probably because of the small compact size with all your weight in one condensed area. So I'm not gonna lie, at first I wasn't sure about it, but I took a couple of days to try it on the track. I tried it on my new WL build, and this was running the Fly Sky before this, and I've given it a couple of days to actually try it. Not gonna lie, I'm actually really impressed with this. This is something that I did not consider something that I would use. I just wanted to, have it in stock to sell. But I think I actually might keep several of them just for some of my cars. So what's cool about it is the form factor. I know Fly Sky makes one that's smaller than this. I can't see using one that's smaller than this. This is the perfect size. So one of the things you notice when you're actually using it, like kind of holding it close to your body, it's definitely, you could feel that small size. You don't feel like the bottom part hitting your body. So it's solid. It has weight in your hand. Almost like it just kind of plops in your hand because of that bottom weight. So I definitely want to give it a shot right now with the WL. I've driven this a couple times around the track. I was just testing it to see if I can get these CVDs or dog bones to bend. And so far they're holding up. These are LC CVDs. One is slightly bent. Not much though, not as much as I thought it would be compared to like a WL CVD. I don't know if they're made from the same factory or not, but I can say that the LC CVD is holding up pretty well. And this is running the 17-tooth pinion. So let's get some body clips on here and test it out. Okay, let's turn you on. You should technically always turn on the transmitter first. That way it doesn't pick up a signal somewhere else. But okay, we're good. And just really quickly, just want to kind of look at this transmitter, open it up. The dip switches, I actually had to reverse my channel 2 to give it a throttle forward. And that was just a quick switch. So what we have here is we have the steering dual rates, trim, throttle max speed, and throttle trim. So throttle trim, most of the time on like electric cars, you kind of want to keep it around the 0 range. And if you want to boost it like towards positive throttle, it kind of just gives less delay of the pull, and it actually activates quite quickly. So that's something to keep in mind. And let's give this a little shot. This is actually, it's a really nice transmitter. I also have the metal wheels coming in with the foam, so we're also going to try that and see how it feels. All right, so this is a WL running the 6200 kV, 17-tooth pinion, running WL shocks, and the only thing on here LC is the hard arms and the metal hubs. So there is no performance gains from LC. It's just WL parts, but I did give you a little bit give it a little bit of strength with the harder arms. So this is absolutely my best WL I've ever driven on this track. I've been trying to build a WL for literally years, trying to dial one in for track use, and I just couldn't figure it out. And this is definitely the gearing that needs to be in here for like a decent car. So I like this form factor of this little transmitter. It's extremely small. I'm not gonna lie, it feels uncomfortable at first, but once you kind of get used to it and just start driving it, it feels like you're not holding anything. And that's kind of cool. So if you're like into minis and you want to have something that's a little bit more portable to, you know, don't throw in a little backpack or something, then this would probably be the way that I would go for sure. I do like the Fly Skies again a lot. Those are ones that I always go to, but you know, I just given this one a chance considering its look, its form factor, its price. Its price is actually, for features wise, actually, I think it actually beats a Fly Sky. Fly Sky feels a little bit more quality. It feels, a little more refined, but it's still a low-end transmitter, so I can't say it's like, you know, anything better than this. In fact, with the amount of settings that this has and capabilities, I think this is probably a better value. And I'm not really a Dumbo RC fan, but I think this is the one for like minis for sure. I never thought I would ever see the day of a WL running around track like this, and it's so cool to see. So one of the things I noticed on the steering, the actual throttle, the throttle pull, the spring in there is on the, I wouldn't say stiff side, but it's on the more rigid side of my other controllers. The Fly Skies seem to be a little bit softer on that trigger pull, and I'm not sure how that would translate to anyone specifically, but it's just one of the things I noticed. So what I'm noticing though from that is that I like to kind of be in that front half of that pull, and it gives me a lot of control down there, so that's kind of good. Steering wheel is slightly bigger than most of the Fly Skies that I use, and again, I don't think you really notice stuff like that. You know, if you came down to it, you just adjust the turning radius of your car, and it should dial in just like any other different size wheel. I am curious to see what that metal one feels like though. The metal wheel with the foam does look pretty cool, so we're gonna put one of those on here. And again, so far, if I were to like kind of just sit down here and, you know, just kind of work with the trigger, it just feels like I'm not really like in the way of anything, so it's kind of cool. This car, because it's direct drive and really fast, just kills tires. But I'm okay with it. I actually kind of like running older LC, like almost baldish tires on this car, because it has so much pull. I don't want to lift up on every throttle acceleration, so that's my slipper clutch. My slipper clutch on this car would be like the balding tires, I guess. So I just watched a video not too long ago about Van City RC. he actually did a range test on this transmitter and got some pretty decent range. So I don't need anything with that much range to test really for obviously my backyard, but range seems to be very adequate for a very small transmitter. God, this car rips. This car does not have sway bars. It's running WL front and rear shocks, WL center drive. It has Basher Queen, what's it called? Shock towers, and also the Senate brace, and that's real carbon fiber. So it does have that stiff chassis feel because of that top brace. So even though the bottom isn't real carbon fiber, it is light. It doesn't really dissipate heat like the metal would. So I'm gonna build one that's actually metal, just like this one, and see what I could see in difference wise. Like if I could see that, I don't know, the weight difference actually makes a huge difference, or it doesn't, or you know, if I could feel any like performance difference with the heat from the motor and the ESC. But I can say that this car is extremely impressive for a WL. I could also say that this transmitter is a really good match for it. Walk around. My track is about to die. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's certain spots in the track that are literally about to break in half. So I'm gonna eventually take some time, fix these little parts up, like this right here. This is what happens when it sits in rain, doesn't get dried out. The carpet just kind of blocks the sun from allowing it to dry out, so it stays moist a lot of the time. And just through time, it just kind of wears down. So I'm going to change the dragon tails for sure, and then I'm not sure exactly what else I'm going to do, but I'm also going to change layout pretty soon. I ran this one for a little while, and this layout is really for... Alright, had to switch batteries, get back on it. So again, this car is extremely fast, running all WL parts besides the arms and metal hubs. No performance gains from that, but this is, man, this car is a beast. I would say this is on par with my centered setup. It's definitely faster. This one goes about 45 miles an hour. My centered goes about 39, and they're both hitting its peak limit of heat. So now the centered 5000 kV can probably go faster. Well, I know for sure it can go faster because of the boost in the turbo, but there is a limit of heat that I'm kind of experiencing right now that I'm not sure how much further I can go. But I am running like kind of full batteries, so I'm trying to see what they could actually max out at. So if I were to run like 5-10 minute heats, then I'm not going to hit that thermal cutoff even close to it, to be honest with you. So just trying to get this thing dialed in, so it's gonna compete with the centered. The one thing it needs now is a good paint job and a theme. So still haven't figured out what theme I'm going to go with this one yet, but something cool. Again, I think the Iron Man would kind of be cool. Alright, so because I'm using WL parts, I already know what happened here, and that's good. So that's a good thing. We have parts that are popping off instead of breaking. On an LC, it would just take the hit. Looks like I might have broke one. Yeah, that's broke. So this would be the other thing that would be like an upgrade from an LC. Those adjustable arms. And that one looks like it's about to pop out. Let's see if it survives though. Almost. Oh man, this thing is so fast. Oh, popped off again. So it doesn't look like it's gonna survive on here unless I change it out. That sucks. Okay, well, let's just say we can get the couple, at least a couple runs.